these so-called critical minerals, including cobalt, lithium and nickel, and of course copper, along with rare earth metals, are seen as part of Canada's future economy. And we've got announcements of tens of billions of dollars of subsidies partly in electric vehicle factories, batteries, but also production of these minerals. Our guest says, though, one risk is that policymakers don't understand the supply chain complexities here. We're joined by Philippe Le Billon, a professor of geography at the University of British Columbia in its School of Public Policy and Global Affairs. Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, Andrew.
I guess one problem here is we're talking about such a disparate array of businesses, but we've got politicians sort of paying vague lip service to the notion, well, Canada has a lot of minerals. This puts us in a sweet spot to become a big player in the critical minerals here. But one problem you and some colleagues have identified is the processing. It takes place in unglamorous warehouse-like buildings in an industrial estate. People don't think about it, but it's a crucial part of the story. And Canada is missing capabilities in this area?
That's right. Not only Canada, but most Western countries, whether you're talking of the US, you can take of Canada, you can talk also of European countries. So this is really like, the nut that needs to be cracked. The problem is that there is huge competition coming from China in this domain. The margins are very small. It's very difficult also to articulate all the components of the supply chain between the mining, the processing, the manufacturing of those batteries or, high-power magnets, and then the EV sectors, all the renewable energy industry. And so articulating that means that everything needs to coordinated, and the weakest links need to be supported heavily. And in the moment, we feel that the processing has been a bit missing out of the picture, and that's certainly the one that China has been able to corner for a long time and very, very solidly, as you know, almost entirely, and we're close to 99%.
Yeah, so it's not just Canada has let the Chinese get a lock on this. You say some other problems we're going to have is if we want to expand mining, for example, we will have to deal with the objections and concerns of groups such as indigenous communities.
Yes, and not only indigenous communities, but there is this apprehension when a mine is being proposed in a region that is going to affect it in terms of pollution, changes in landscape, truck traffic. There's a lot of things that will come up, and often there are not that many jobs that are coming, and there's a long legacy for these things. So it takes a lot of negotiation and incentives to have communities on board, and some clearly have said no, like in Quebec with the graphite mine, as we saw last month. It's still very important for the country. It's still essential for some of those communities. So many are also on board, but there are often a lot of divisions within communities, and so it takes a long time to get everybody on board to move forward. Yeah.
And you say politicians, they love to show up and cut a ribbon at an electric vehicle factory, etc. And they can understand that, but the public can understand that. You say there may be a lack of sophistication in actually comprehending what's involved in these supply chains?
That's right. I think that's also a sentiment that we got from people within the industry. When you talk to the CEOs and tech people, they say that it's all nice and good and lots of money is being put on the table. It makes for big announcements, but putting those supply chains, on the ground and making them work is very complex because there is technical complexity. We often don't have also the capacity. So Saskatchewan, for example, has developed a really good processing for rare earth, but it's very small. It's going to produce a few tons, and we're talking of 0.1% of the global production. So it's trying even to develop the technical capacity to do that. Same thing all along the supply chain. When you're talking about Chinese electric vehicles and you see that BYD has about 100,000 engineers, they are going to be cornering, and they are already cornering a lot of the intellectual property on these things, etc. So that also adds to the things. On top of it, finding markets is difficult because the Chinese have again and again cut down prices when necessary to maintain the monopoly. It's also a very small market. When you're talking of rare earth, it's about 5 billion for the global market. When you compare it to oil and gas, it's 5 trillion. So you've got nearly 6 this year. So, we've got a factor of 1,000. So those are relatively technically complex operations that depends on small market with rather thin margins, and that also take on a long-term capital view. So, it's difficult to persuade people that they have to move towards processing when they are not sure if the mine will be ready to go to production in 2 years, 5 years, or 15 years. And at the moment in Canada, we were at some point at 18 years. So that has been cut back a lot. But you can understand that from a purely, market perspective, it's a challenging place to go into. And that's why government subsidies, if there is this imperative of diversifying sources of supply and having them more at a national level, that's why the government needs to be involved. But understanding that they need to really apprehend all the complexities and work across the different levels of jurisdictions, provincial and community level as well.
And another, you and your colleagues, you are critical of the level of subsidies or promised subsidies. You acknowledge not all the money gets spent on these, because we've seen quite a few electric vehicle and battery plants either delayed or cancelled. You say the government's announced these big subsidies. Not all the money has been paid out, though. That's the good news.
The good news is, yes, those were kind of commitments, and of course they needed to be matched by actual investments. But the government of Canada, at the federal level, and with some help from the provinces, especially Ontario, put actually more money into, these EV plants than the private investor, the manufacturing, companies. And so we thought that this was really well above what was done generally in the industry, which is more again 10-15%, but 50 is really extraordinary. And also it was all nice and good to say, well, we're going to produce them and we're going to establish a supply chain. But again, the demand needs to be there, and as well as the supply. So it's a really difficult equation to resolve. Mm-hmm. And it's a complex one that needs a lot of coordination and subsidies, not only for the big announcements with lots of jobs in manufacturing, areas like Southern Ontario, but also in those communities and all the places along the chain. So we see a number of companies who are articulating those visions and working closely with different layers of government, including Indigenous, provincial, and federal. But that takes a lot of meetings, and sometimes the companies themselves I've talked to are frustrated because sometimes they feel like they're ready on their side, but maybe downstream they're not quite ready yet, and the government hesitates to go. It's a little bit like, are you going to invest in a dam if you're not sure to have an hydropower line, that will bring it to the demand? And we're a little bit in this scenario, but reverse. We put a lot of money in EV vehicles, but at the same time, the demand is not there, and this idea of having a complete and secure supply chain is not quite there. Yes.
You've raised some of the complexities here, Philippe, because we do tend to gloss over them. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.